Well, the penultimate episode of Stargirl arrived. Its title, Stars and Stripe, Part 1. Get it? Yeah. Well, starts off pretty good. It's basically just all-out action as the hit squad of the Sportsman and Tigress attack the Stargirl's family in an attempt to wipe them out. So Sportsman takes on Pat Dugan and pretty much whoops his butt. Then Dugan's son comes up from behind Sportsman and stabs him with a power drill. And then Pat beats him over the face with I don't know, a wrench or something. Then they take he activates his giant robot, and they're all heading to a safe house. Later on, Tigress attacks Stargirl's mother, but Stargirl shows up in time with the staff, and that's a little better, and completely kicks Tigress's ass. And and then her mother's like all wowed by her abilities, which will probably give her some amount of comfort that her daughter is more than capable of handling this role that she finds herself in, and all that stuff. Also, I don't recall Sportsman having superpowers, but he certainly seemed to have it here. I mean, he was a lot stronger. I mean, in the stuff he was doing, but anyway. It was all cool, and they choreograph it, with your superhero fights and whatnot. Then, the other aspect is the villains, of course, who have always been more interesting in the show. But it's Icicle pouting and feeling sorry for himself because he doesn't want Barbara to die. But, got to make sacrifices for the dream, buddy. And then Ito takes Brainwave into the machine, and of course just before while hooking him up to it, tells him, well, look, buddy, this could fry your brain and turn your spine into sludge. Now you tell me. So he goes through with it. It's very painful, but he says he believes he can do it, so they're going to activate it. And meanwhile, our man, just going through his father's journal, there's a secret code in there. He manages to crack it, of course, with a little help from Pat. And this leads them to a map of the secret underground complex so that they can figure out how to get to the evil machine. And so they go in there. They split up in teams. Barbara and Beth go to the computers back at the office. And Beth, using the goggles, manages to basically just sit there and narrate what the AI Dr. Midnight tells her. And they get through, and then they discover their secret plan is, well, to end racism and global warming and provide universal health care. So, which in a roundabout way is yes, these are the goals of the left, so therefore only supervillains would pursue, with the exception of racism, of course. So they're going to do this through mind control and force people to go along with whatever their plans are, and so this justifies whatever they want in the pursuit of power. And which, yeah, that really is the if they could have a mind control machine, they would use it. So anyway, that's their justification for what they're doing and all the people they're killing. The strange thing here was they only briefly introduced the woman who was the wife of the fiddler, and we only got a brief demonstration that she can operate the violin, but it didn't really do much. It was supposed to revive Brainwave when he was still in a coma, and it didn't. And then her son comes to her and complains about bullies making fun of him, and then she tells him about her father made short work of them. And then she heads over to the house where Tigress and Sportsman have failed to kill Stargirl's family, and she says, I'm here to immobilize them so that you idiots can finally finish the job or whatever. She keeps insulting them. So finally Tigress has enough and just kills her, and she dies flat right there. And the camera pans to the violin case with the violin in it, and I guess her son will get that and become the new Fiddler for the next season or whatever. So I'm pretty thinking that this season's going to wipe out the adult versions, and then the kids will be at war with each other over this. But this character was, kind of shoehorned in at the last minute, so that wasn't all that great. It's not as good as some of the other episodes they've recently done, but it's not bad. The first half of it was really good, but it's all for the setup of the cliffhanger and how they resolved this. Because the machine has been activated and it's working, and all the adults are starting to succumb to it because it works on adults because the younger minds aren't developed yet, and that's why they're also very stupid. But another flaw here is that they've already introduced Sir Justin. Even though he now remembers who he is, he's still messed up because they scrambled his brains with Brainwave and Ito's machine and whatnot. And you would think it probably wouldn't affect him, as this is supposed to attach to ordinary adult brains. Now, if anybody resists this, it will damage their brain and kill them. So it might be dangerous to break them from it, but at the very last, it takes over Pat, and he's in his giant robot, and so he starts to attack Stargirl, and it goes black. So there we are, fairly decent cliffhanger while they're searching through the tunnels again. But there were some weak moments here and there, but all in all, not so bad. Some of the elements that are annoying is the constant reference to crappy little songs and stuff, especially when they're all suited up and going into the villain's lair and all that. But it just wasn't on the level of some of these recent episodes, which caught me by surprise as to how they were pretty good. And but this is not a type of episode that could drag it down. If they have more of what they've been doing, then it's still a pretty good series. So, the jury's still out. Let's see how they wrap it up. A so-so episode, if you will. But a lot of action in it, but there again, it's like when I complain about filler episodes from shows like The Flash and whatnot, this series managed to do a show that you would think is a filler episode, but it was more plot development and character development that they brought into it that actually worked, and so it didn't really matter that there wasn't a whole lot going on in it. And this one, well, you've got a lot of action here with the fight scenes against the Injustice Society and all that. But then some of the silliness comes in and kind of takes away from it. But not as bad as the earlier episodes that were just really nauseating with high school soap opera stuff. My fear is that's going to return after this season because they will probably resolve this and the Injustice Society will, for the most part, be defeated. Or maybe they'll leave it up that they've won and it'll be this ongoing struggle to reclaim their lives and whatnot, and only the superhero kids will know that everybody's being mind controlled or what and stuff. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm thinking not. I think they'll win, and ultimately the adult Injustice Society will be gone, and then you have the Shiv, she'll escape, and then she'll come back for revenge and all that kind of thing. And I'm still wondering if Brainwave Jr. is really dead. I don't know. Because it stands to reason that this is what Dr. King was doing here. He wanted to take the brunt of this machine, not his son to do it, because it's so dangerous. So even though he did say to Shiv that I had to kill him because you failed to bring him to me or whatever. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So there you go. Part 1 of Stars and Stripe. And we'll see how part 2 goes. But all in all, based on the strengths of these episodes that were pretty strong, I don't know if they can screw it up so badly in this last episode to ruin that. So I'm going to have to give the next season a look. But it's, of course, too little too late for the DC Universe app, I'm afraid. Well, there's always HBO Max. So, well, maybe not always. But we'll see how that turns out, too. Anyway, there you go. Another, well, so-so episode of Stargirl. But bolstered by previous strong ones and didn't really take away from it. So, anyway, there you go. We'll see what happens next week for Stargirl. Alright, thank you for watching and listening. Why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you. You know, hats, mugs, stickers, posters, all that goody stuff. Plus, you can head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book Night Night. Oh, yeah. Plus, you can also catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on my channel at BitChute. That's the Mr Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.